父さん守ってくれ。この一撃で骨を断つ。日の神神楽壁羅の天。
Fire, one of the 4 basic elements of Greek philosophy, and also the one that's literally the most exciting. As you've already guessed by the title, today we'll be getting into some of the most exciting people that use the element to take down their foes. Before we get into the list, let us know about your favorite fire users from the world of anime. It's a big world of anime out there. We might have missed your favorite one, and I'm pretty sure that guy deserves to be a part of the list. Without further ado, let's get right into this.
虚空を拳で打つと攻撃がこちらまで来る。一瞬にも満たない速度。
The first guy on the list is the man with a passion to decapitate the demon's head, and it's none other than Kyujuro Rengoku from Demon Slayer. Those burning, passionate eyes and fiery hair isn't just for show. This guy is one of the strongest characters of Demon Slayer, and it's all thanks to his fire powers that make him a force to be reckoned with. Like all other characters in the show, he uses a unique breathing style for his powers, and his breathing style inflicts some serious burn damage to anyone his sword touches. Aside from his flaming sword, his passion for eradicating evil from this world is also like a flame that gives this man all the strength he needs in his life. The next guy on the list can use ice just as much as he can use fire. I know, weird combo, right? But it's one of the things that makes him such a formidable opponent. I'm talking about my guy, Shoto Todoroki from My Hero Academia.
なりたい自分になっていいんだよ。これは熱きた。
戦闘において左は絶対使わねえ。使った。左側を使わせた。緑谷少年、君はまさか轟少年を救おうと。
With one half of his body, he can freeze you in an instant, whereas from the other half, you'll get burned in an instant. Although in combat, his fire side has shown to be a bit more brutal, he chooses to refrain from using this side, as he got this power from his father. And let's just say he didn't have the best of bonds with his dad. He's mostly a quiet and composed kid who doesn't get along very well with those around him. Believe it or not, his main goal was to originally never use his firepower and become the best hero out there. Thankfully, he comes to his senses and resolves things with his father. After that, he unleashes the wrath of his flames later on in the show. This next guy uses fire kicks, and that's what makes him so cool. I'm talking about the one and only Shinra Kusakabe from Fire Force. 'Shinra Kusakabe is an enthusiastic kid who wishes to rid the world of evil and has a huge heart. He can produce some intense and destructive flames with his feet. He loves to couple the flame in his feet with some really fancy kicks. It's one of the things that makes him so hard to deal with. He can also use the flames on his feet to give himself a boost in mobility, making his speed a deadly trick up his sleeves. The one weakness he has is that he's quite hot-headed and doesn't think a lot before making a move. He mostly lets his impulse get the better of him. This trait usually suits someone who relies on fire a lot, but it's not something that's been serving him well on the battlefield. The next character on the list is one of the most famous in the anime community, and it's none other than Portgas D. Ace from One Piece.
行儀の悪い野郎がいるな。全開火柱。
Fire is the essence of what this guy is about. In fact, he has the power to literally turn into fire, which allows all the coming attacks to just pass right through him. I guess it becomes needless to say how this guy can produce and control flames. I mean, that's literally the most basic thing you can do. Just like most characters in the One Piece universe, Ace also got his powers from eating a devil's fruit, although his greatest strength is his personality and the positive influence he has on his friends. Up next, we have yet another character that is known to any person who is even remotely interested in anime, and it's none other than Madara Uchiha from Naruto.
カトン豪華滅却
術の範囲が広いぞ
水門 3D ヘリ
Now, Madara has tons of abilities that we get to see him use. In the world of Naruto, the Uchiha members are strong fire-style users. Even though the foundation of Madara's strength doesn't rely on his fire style, he sure is exceptional even in this aspect. He is undoubtedly one of the strongest fire-style users in the Naruto universe. There are only a handful of people in the Naruto-verse who are stronger than this guy. This isn't surprising, as he's always had a lust for power and thrilling battles. However, despite being a lunatic, Madara always had a strong sense of justice in his own way. In the end, he just wanted to make the world a better place. Most people just wouldn't see eye to eye with him. Up next, we have a guy who relies solely on fire to get by challenging opponents. Unlike Madara, this guy is none other than Alibaba Saluha from Magi: The Labyrinth of Magic.
何黒い陣は俺がぶった切る
This guy has the looks that every one of you girls would die for. However, this guy ain't just beautiful, so don't let the pretty looks fool you. He can be quite lethal when he needs to be. Just like all the other guys on this list, he's quite a strong fire user. He can even burn his own body on fire, and this allows him to wield a very deadly sword, known as the Sword of the Melting. He's been able to take down some of the strongest opponents in the show with ease. Needless to say, he's not a foe to be taken lightly. Don't know about you, but I certainly wouldn't want to be on his bad side. Not only will the guy humiliate you in battle, but he might just steal your girl too. By the way, all of this talk about fire reminds me, if you want more content like this to light up your day, make sure to subscribe and press that bell icon so you don't miss out on future videos. Now, where were we? Up next, we have another guy from the show My Hero Academia, and it's none other than the one and only Endeavor from My Hero Academia.
昔からこの校訓が大嫌いだったよクースールドラプロミネンス
We mentioned Todoroki on the list, so I thought it just made sense to add the Big Daddy too. Being the father, Endeavor is a far more lethal opponent than his son Todoroki. We've seen him manipulate fire in multiple ways, and he has the power to blow off buildings like they're nothing. Aside from all the damage he can cause from his fire, he's quite fit and muscular as well. In fact, a lot of the time he doesn't even need to rely on his superpowers to take care of mundane tasks. His lethal strength and phenomenal speed, paired with all that firepower, makes him a force to be reckoned with. Up next, we have a guy who can appear quite frail at times. However, don't let that fool you, as he can literally transform himself into the most muscular man you'll ever see. I'm talking about Escanor from Seven Deadly Sins.
自ら手放そうとしていたこの命、大切な友のためにかけること。
When you're the sin of pride and your power literally comes from the sun itself, I guess you're bound to make it to a list like this. And trust me, you do not want to piss off this guy, especially at noon. The higher the sun rises, the stronger he gets. And at noon, this guy is in his peak strength. He'll burn and destroy anything that gets in his way. The next one on this list is an old one, but he literally doesn't use his full power because it might burn everything around him. That guy is none other than Yamamoto from Bleach.
なんだ
This guy is basically the overpowered old man who doesn't have to show his full power to get the job done. That alone is enough proof of his strength. In fact, in the anime, he hasn't even shown his full power yet. I guess Bleach fans have a thing or two to look forward to, as new episodes of Bleach have been announced. The man is old and has combat experience of over 2 millennia. If you've been training for that long, I guess it makes sense to be as powerful as this guy is. Just like nearly all the other characters from Bleach, he's quite the powerful swordsman. And the final guy on our list is another face that can be recognized by everyone in the anime community. It's none other than Natsu Dragneel from Fairy Tail.
遠慮をのブローカー
He is another one of those guys who has nearly all of his powers relating to fire. He can literally do anything you can possibly imagine a guy with fire powers could. He can shoot fire from his mouth. He can ignite his fists and add burn damage to the unlucky guy about to get punched by it. He can perform kicks that can burn anyone to ashes. As the series progresses, Natsu and his fire prowess only enhance even further. He's pretty much the strongest person in the series right now, as he's taken down nearly all of the challenging opponents in a one-on-one battle. With that being said, this concludes the list. If you want more content like this, go ahead and feel free to check out my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!